how to make shit happen. All right? In order to make things happen, you want to make sure you build it out 3 times. Time 1, mentally. Kind of work out the plan, daydream it out, do the self-inquiry, the strategizing of what makes sense, what doesn't, what are obstacles, what are fear-based things that could get in the way, how would you overcome them, what do you want, why is it important, why is that important, what's important about that, along with what is it that you want, who will be positively impacted by that once you create it or have it or achieve it, who will be negatively impacted, what support and accountability do you need, right? So you're mentally processing all of that, getting into the deep nitty gritty, right? Then you want to build it out on paper. Pros, cons, timeline by month, week, year, day, maybe by hour, maybe by meal, maybe by relationship. Draw it out, give yourself a map. Then, because we are appointment meeting junkies, schedule appointments. When are you going to do it? What portion of it are you going to do? A lot of the times I have people that want to do like large projects. And I ask them, okay, well, like, what do you need? How many steps is it? They're like, oh, I don't know, like probably like a 15 piece. And it's like, shit, well, hopefully you're not trying to do that in one stop. So it's about, okay, great. You have a 15 portion project. Could it be 3 categories of like 5 different things or 5 categories of 3 different things? So then when you block out the time, specifically during your weeks, you can a la carte like choose of like, where's my mind at? What can I execute right now? Right? So mentally build it on paper, and then apply it in the physical, right? And that application of like, when will this fit in my life? When am I going to do this? Is then also different than doing it, like creating it in the physical. A lot of the times people want to go from like mind to physical. There's a reason I got a glass board. Like, you have to give yourself a visual, because what happens is the mind makes it seem really easy, really attainable, and or becomes overwhelming and like has you crap in your pants because it's just too much. So by putting it on paper, it really helps you then get clear of like what's useful, what's useless, what is a risk, what is a celebration, what are action steps, within the action steps, what is priority, what is red, what is green, what is yellow, and then what is a timeline? Because oftentimes we forget that like if we can't visually see something on paper or in our calendar, we will become overwhelmed. It doesn't seem tangible. And you can tell yourself, well, yeah, Alyssa, like it's going to seem overwhelming because you haven't like mapped it out. Yes, and that's exactly why I need to map it out. So then you have your mindset, your mind process, your paper process, your paper into the physical, into the practical, and then you have, or the paper into the schedule or the paper, whatever, calendar. And then you do the physical. It's the physical build out of like, have checkpoints of, you know, how will you know? What will be grading your success? Is it a due date? Is it a submission? Is it so many connections? Is it so many pounds? Is it an investment? Is it a purchase? How and what will you then be able to have in the practical that is going to reiterate, hey, yeah, you're doing this. You're crushing it. Well done. Because if we don't have that stature, it gets to be really confusing, and then you're going to be with no results or no checkpoints and be like, what the hell am I doing? Like, nothing's happening. And we don't want that. So 3 times build out for anything, everything you want to create. Whether it's a personal goal, a professional goal, build it out mentally, on paper, and in the physical form, and have touch points, checkpoints, pros and cons in each one of those categories. In the mindset, it's going to be fear. It's going to be fear. It's going to be overwhelm. It's going to be burnout, and it's going to be just avoidance. So write out, what's the pros of getting this shit done? What's the cons? What's the worst that could happen? And is the worst even that bad? All right. Paper, pros and cons, super easy. Love it. Give yourself a hard cap. Give yourself a more lenient cap of path. An example of this is if you want to do a project, have it done in 3 months, but if you have it done in 4.5, will it be the end of the world? Say you want to lose 10 pounds in 10 weeks. Okay. Or 8 weeks, is it going to be the end of the world if you lose it in 10 weeks? Like, have those goals wrote out and then applied, so you have checkpoints keeping you motivated, linking you to the pleasure of the outcome, and more so just holding yourself accountable and creating that in which you want to have. All right? Ciao.